Good afternoon. This is Chris Brecher with the Simpler Stocks free video from March 31st, 2016. It's about 50 minutes before the bell, as you see here, about 3:10 p.m. Want to get this out because I'm having a free members and extra bonus chat that I'm getting on at 3:30 to 4 just on our live chat, where I can just go over the close and what I'm looking for in the market. Then tonight, I'm actually doing a class on bull and bear flags at 6:30 that's also free to members. So if you sign up for the $7 trial, you get all these kind of web videos. We're trying to have a teaching video once a week, not like a 2 or 3 hour class like I do that is a premium thing on Simpler Options. This is more an informal class, 15, 20, 30, 45 minutes. I always seem to go on longer than I should, but it's a great deal. It's included in your subscription. So just so you know, what today is all about was just a consolidation of the gains of the last couple of days. To give you an idea in here, what's going on is we have right now the market. Let me mess this up a little. Give me a second. We have the ES is up 1150. And what I want to tell you in here that I find fascinating is you still have this gap on the SPX. Now let me show you what I'm talking about in here. You have this gap from back here to when Janet Yellen talked. So that's about 25 points. The low is about 2055. So what that does is that gets you, a measuring gap goes up by the previous move. That gets you about 20, let's say 2075, 2077. We're almost there. So we've almost done, the objective of that. But what I find fascinating is whether I'm looking at StockTwits, whether I'm looking at Simpler Options or Simpler Stocks, is so many people want to short this market. And the problem is when that happens, you get very shallow sell-offs. Now, what do I mean by that? I had more people sitting here wanting to short Apple, even though I mentioned about this measuring gap. Not only do you have one right here that's from 105 to 107.5, it's 2.5 from the low at 108.5 gets you to 111. But the one back here that is from 94 to from 94 to 104, and then from there another 10 points gets you to 114, which would get you to fill the gap. Now, the reason I mention that, Apple, there are certain stocks that are more reliable about filling gaps than others. Apple is notorious for wanting to fill gaps. Usually the most followed stocks are more likely to fill the gaps, and that's what you might see in Apple. But I'm telling you right now, I saw more people want to buy Apple 110, even though it's ridiculously overbought, and then wanted to short it at 108.94 when it's oversold. And I can't impress enough on people that, and I'm trying to teach everybody in Simpler Stocks this, that you don't short in the hole. You don't short when there's a measuring gap, but it hasn't made its objective. So that's something very important I'm trying to show everybody. Also on the left here, it's not under anything. So if you miss a little of a trade, that's fine. Wait till something crosses. So what were we showing today in Simpler Stocks in the chat before the opening? We were showing, and on Simpler Options, we were showing Boeing. So here's what I talk about when I talk about intraday trading and the kind of things I like to teach people. Boeing announced today before the opening they're laying off like 4,000 people, potentially bearish. Whole idea in here, it never got over its 200 as opposed to the Amazons of the world that look great on a 200. Rallied up to this, got overbought right here. That's one reason. If I always say you need 3 reasons to do a trade. So what are your 3? Well, the first thing you have to understand is when something has bad news, when the market opens up, it usually gives you a chance to short something higher. So let me show you on how I did it, and I actually showed it today on Simpler Options. Over here is Boeing, and I shorted it first right on the opening, thinking it was a bargain. Really stupid, and let me tell you why. Look at the gap here. 129.48, let's say 129.50. Closed yesterday approximately 131. So that's 1.5 points. The whole idea is you can't short the gap on the opening. You have to wait for it to fulfill its gap. 1.5 points. The low was 131.30. Gets you to 132.80. The high, let me change the scale, 132.73. So the whole idea is I shorted 100 shares too early on the opening, bought it back when it got to a little high here, so I was down all of $30. Shorted it again right here at 132.51, just 50 shares. Now, if you take a 2-minute on the left and on the right, you take a 1 minute. So we're going to do 2 days, 1 minute. What I want to show you is this. Right here. Right there. Right there when it started crossing. Really, you should have shorted down here, not been... I shorted right here with that little candle and said I'd stop myself at 132.73. So now I'm short 50 shares, all this. I see this right here and I buy back 25. It starts to rally, now gets overbought in a downtrend. And then I saw that little flag there. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be fine. So I bought the next 25 shares down here, 130.50. So believe it or not, on 50 shares, I made $75. Now watch what happened now. Look at this on the right. Forms another bear flag. That bear flag measures from 131.5, 130.20, $1.30. It's always symmetrical. So $1.30 from 130.30 is 129. Where did it go? 129 is where it sort of hovered. Amazing how that works. So today, actually, we're having a class, like I said, on bull and bear flags. I'm going to show this one as an example on what a continuation pattern is, when flags are more likely to work, and how to scan for them. So this is something you get for your $7. Let me show you up here. I love visual. So I'll show you actually the web page that you would sign up for. I have to log out of my account, go to the home page, and check this out. Flag patterns tonight. Includes online recording 6:30 to 7. Not a member, sign up for the $7 trial. $7 for 30 days, and that includes any of these classes. We're trying to have one a week. Next week, I'm going to talk about unusual option activity, how to take care of it, how to scan for it, and how to trade it. And the next week, we're probably going to do on the TTM squeeze. So it'll be up to like 6 or 7 classes. Then what's fun is we go in and we do learning things where we have tests and we have quizzes just for fun to see how much you retain. So I hope you enjoy this. Try to take us up on this offer. Really, literally thousands have. And I hope you enjoy it. So everybody have a great night. Talk to you tomorrow.